Hey yo, what is up everybody? It's B Militant. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host here on the Redskins review. You guys, the Washington football team is playing good football at the right time. They're coming together, figuring out who their identity is as a team, and they're in first place. Looking like if they keep this up, they're going to be going to the playoffs. Now, when they actually get to the playoffs, their record doesn't mean shit anymore. It's going to be about can they play. And what we're seeing right now is the Washington football team, they're playing some good football. Now, I have a lot of worries about the offense and Alex Smith and Dwayne Haskins and stuff, but we'll get into that. But let's just bring this up. First. So, within the last 10 years, the last regime here in Washington, they didn't let our football team wear the white-on-white jerseys, right, that we wore in the last game and then now this game, which we're on a 2-0 win streak with these jerseys. It's been over a decade since we've worn these jerseys, the white-on-white jerseys, and then now we're wearing them, and we have freaking Chase Young out here looking like a reincarnation of Sean Taylor, scooping up a fumble and running down the same sideline like Sean Taylor did. It was like the same play. It was like Sean Taylor was out there on that football field again for us, wearing the same jerseys like Sean Taylor did, the white-on-white jerseys in that play in the playoff game where he scooped up the football and ran it down the sideline for a touchdown. The same sideline, same play, same everything. And that's just how that goes to show how bad the people who are running the football team that used to be here were. Like right now we're wearing these jerseys, which they look good, obviously. That's why they're wearing them. But it's just our last regime was that bad. And now we got Montez Sweat and Chase Young are a problem, man. They're going to be a problem for a lot of people for a long time. And I want to bring up how many people were all upset that we let go of Preston Smith. I mean, Preston Smith was the most garbage, slow, unathletic, freaking defensive end that I've ever freaking seen on our football team. And we let him go, or whatever. And people were like, oh man, look, he went over to Green Bay and, he's got a couple sacks. No, it's because he was paired up with the other Smith, and that guy is actually good. I forget his first name, but that other Smith, he's actually good. Not Preston Smith. Preston Smith is not good. He's just gave you the illusion because he was on a talented defensive line. Montez Sweat is a freaking beast, but like I said, you guys know Montez is my guy. That's my favorite player on the Washington football team right now. But this game was all about Chase Young, man, and my God, there's differences here because, and I'll bring it up this way. Chase Young, that guy is as advertised. He's a superstar. We drafted him in the first round. Then Montez Sweat, drafted in the first round. Looks like he's going to be a superstar to me. He looks like, obviously it looks like he could be in the Pro Bowl vote. The guy is a monster. And then we go and we have to do what? Put Dwayne Haskins in the football game. Doesn't look like a first-round talent. And that's what we have to sit here and think about. What's going to happen in the future? Is Alex Smith going to come back? The quarterback situation is... The entire offensive situation is... got me worried. Now, what we do know is the football team is going to fight. They're going to fight to the very end. Even though... our offense wasn't doing much today. They only kicked field goals, right? Our defense got 2 touchdowns, and our offense just kicked field goals. And I don't think our offense scored any points. Maybe they did. Yeah, I think they did with Dwayne Haskins, because when Dwayne Haskins first came in, he had a pretty good drive, and he was just dumping the ball off to J.D. McKissick, which, my God, J.D. McKissick is saving our ass on offense. That guy is the MVP of our offense. But yet again, another game where I'm not super impressed. Now, Alex Smith is a role model. He's an inspiration to everyone. But on the football field, he is playing under par if I'm just being completely honest, because we should be scoring more points in this football game. We're playing the 49ers, who, by the way, put up a little bit of a fight, and they have the most injuries in the NFL. And I'll just give a shout out to someone who commented on and said, I think his name is Valor Watts or whatever. Hey man, he commented and said, your boy Mullins looking nice, making fun of it. You just taking a little jab, because I've said many times that I like Nick Mullins. And if you're gonna sit here and be completely honest, did Nick Mullins not play? He didn't play terrible. He didn't play bad. If we're sitting here and being honest, our defense within the last 2 to 3 weeks has to be the number one defense in the NFL. It has to be. Our defense has to be the number one in the NFL in the last couple weeks, and that's who he went up. Nick Mullins went up against us. He was under pressure all day, dude. He was under duress all day. And like I said, go ahead and put Dwayne Haskins under that pressure and see how he plays, man. And Nick Mullins brought him back a little bit there and got a touchdown there at the end. And the interception that he threw down the sideline, like, it was just miscommunication. Don't know who it is, whose fault it is. It's all obviously going to go on Nick Mullins' stat line because it's an interception, which Cameron Curl is a beast, obviously. We all know that now. But, it was a miscommunication. He throws the ball to where the fullback's standing and the fullback starts running. Like, it's not like he just threw the ball right to somebody or something. It was like a miscommunication. So, all in all, I'm just bringing this up. I'm still a fan of Nick Mullins. I think Nick Mullins played better than any of our quarterbacks played today. So, and that's against our defense, which is, as we just said, within the last couple weeks, I'm not saying all year, but within the last couple weeks, our defense has to be the best defense in the NFL. And hopefully that continues. And man, it's just a wide range of everything coming together at the right time. Guys are getting their hands up and swatting passes down. Just everything is happening. Kendall Fuller was playing well today. Ronald Darby was playing well today. Even John Bostic, who Bostic in the past has, if there's one of the people, if there's someone I want to replace on defense in the offseason, John Bostic was one of my number one guys I wanted to replace. And then the last game, he has the game-sealing interception the ball was tipped by Montez Sweat. And then now today, it was like on the fourth down or it was like third down or fourth down or something like that. He has that huge hit and basically kind of ends the game there. Just playing heads-up football, and he was fired up. Our team was fired up. Chase Young fires everybody up. And to be honest, when Dwayne Haskins was coming into the football game, I was sitting here saying, okay, hopefully, being benched. Hopefully, Dwayne Haskins being benched for a while, and sitting here watching Alex Smith and watching how everyone loves Alex Smith and what he does, and he could learn some of that stuff or whatever. And hopefully, this is all going to be like a blessing in disguise. And Alex Smith might come back later, but as of right now, Dwayne Haskins is going to come into the football game and maybe do something and rally around the team. Because not even that, just to give credit to Dwayne Haskins, if you see in the highlights and stuff like that within the last couple games, in the games that we've done well in and won or whatever, if you look at the sideline, Dwayne Haskins is like the first guy cheering the rest of the team on. So credit to him. So I'm sitting here thinking, what if that's what Dwayne Haskins needed, was to sit back some and just see what winning football looks like and just soak it all up and learn from Alex Smith and then come in here and play lights out. He didn't do that, and that's what has me worried. What are we going to do on offense in the future? We know what our defense is. We know that we can hold people to not a lot of points, especially they showed the stats in the second half of football games. Our team all year is the number one defense in the second half of football games. But, man, J.D. McKissick is a great weapon. Obviously, we have McLaurin, who I'm guessing, I haven't watched games twice or something like that. I haven't looked at any film or something like that. But I'm just going to take a wild guess that people are taking Terry McLaurin away double teaming him. That's why his name hasn't been called so much the last couple games. But that's fine because that opens plays up for people like McKissick and stuff, and that's fine as long as we are still making the plays that are there to be made on offense and scoring some type of points. We know our defense is going to rally and not let the other team score many points. And man, just the Cameron Curl interception. I think they said it was like 70-some yard interception return. The Chase Young plays, multiple Chase Young plays. We were disruptive in the backfield the entire game. They did run the ball on us at some times, and like I said, that's more on the guys in the middle. That's Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne. They had some good runs up the middle on us, so that's something to be worried about. But that's also the linebackers. I don't know whose fault that all is. You'd have to go back and take another look at it. But all I know is Montez Sweat and Deron Payne, people are going to be scared shitless, man. The teams are going to be so scared when they have to play us now. And and this is going to be not just this year. This is going to be for a long time, man. For a long, long time. And trying to think of what other key plays. I mean, I'm sure I'm missing some, but it was all about the defense. Hopefully Antonio Gibson can come back and we just have more weapons on offense. It was a quiet day for some of our guys like Cam Sims and Steven Sims with the drop. Steven Sims is someone I used to be super, super high on, and he's an undrafted guy, and I always rooting for him. But and give him his credit, he has been catching punts and stuff like that. Just fair catching the ball, and he's been sure-handed doing that. But he dropped the one pass that we needed, I think, from Dwayne Haskins or whatever. He dropped that pass, and it's just like, this is a guy that I was so high on. He's so shifty and makes people miss and everything. Now, he's dropping. He might not have many opportunities, but he dropped the one he had today. So just offense. They need to figure it out. There was some bad play calling too at a certain point in the game. I'm trying to remember when we were like, it was like first and goal and Alex Smith was still in the game. I don't know if it's Alex Smith's fault or just the play calling, but it was bad. It was like first and goal and just 3 passes in a row and just nothing looked right. Just nothing. We should have scored there. It was first and goal. I think we got the ball off of a turnover. You have to score a touchdown there. And Alex Smith goes back to pass 3 times in a row, and I don't think we even got a reception. I mean, I think, he threw the ball into the dirt. He threw the ball away and incomplete. It just, the play calling was bad, or Alex Smith's reads there were bad, but the offense needs to figure it out. If we want a real shot, and we have a real shot, and the thing is, within the last couple games, I haven't seen this team with this type of momentum, like real momentum. Like we won the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Like I said, the most watched football game of this year by far. It wasn't any other game even on Thanksgiving. It was our game versus the Cowboys. It was like, I don't know, like 30 million viewers or something like that. It was like something ridiculous. And everyone, the entire nation got to see what we could do when we played complementary football, solid defense and all that. The entire nation got to see. We took that, went into the Steelers game, kept the momentum, took that momentum, came into this game. Our offense didn't play as well as they did in the other games, but our defense sure as hell played just as good or better. I haven't seen a Washington team with that type of momentum, and I can't remember how long, man. I just can't. I don't know. Even, how big of a fan I am of, like, Kirk Cousins, and I'll even give Jay Gruden some credit for what they did here. But as in momentum, as in, like, winning, like, getting a string of wins together, they weren't winning games back-to-back and keeping a string of games like this, and to where the next game that we're going up against, I'm not like scared shitless that, oh, hey, we won 2 games, now we're going to lose in 1, or, there's real momentum here. And that is a feeling we haven't had in a long time. And you have to give the credit all to Ron Rivera, man. And yeah, it's hope. It's hope that something's changing. The culture is changing, and Chase Young, getting a guy like Chase Young, like I forget whether it was the announcer who said like Chase Young is the loudest on the sideline. He shines the brightest when we need him to, and he's the loudest, biggest fan on the sideline. Just getting a guy like that, and then you saw at the end of the game where he was pissed off that something that we mismanaged or whatever. We should have been able to run the clock out and not even have to punt the ball back. Our defense just went out there and did their job all day long, scored 2 touchdowns, and then we had to see Chase Young on the sideline at the end there, pissed off that he's like, "What? They have time left, and you're gonna kick the ball back to them?" Apparently, I didn't pay attention, but something we did or whatever, or we left some time on the clock when apparently Chase Young's pissed off because we should have been able to clock the game there. So it's getting people like that on the football team. And another thing I want to bring up is Greg Jennings was one of the announcers on the football game, and I can't remember who it was, but I had to criticize a former player that I think it was us versus the Lions or whatever. I forget who the player was, but he was one of the commentators on the game, and I was like, man, this is hard to watch. Like, I can't listen to this guy. Like, he can't even formulate sentences or whatever, and he's commentating. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's getting paid to do that and all that. And I forget who the player was, a former player, but I was like, I had to mention it. I was like, it was bad. But Greg Jennings, something I thought about the game today. I don't know how many times I might have even seen him commentate in the past, and I just don't recognize it. But he did a good job today. Just wanted to bring that up because I shit on the other guy before. But hey, it can be done. Greg Jennings did a good job today. Let's go through some of the stats real fast. Alex Smith, 8 of 19. Not the best, like I said, man. We all love Alex Smith. He's an inspiration. But we do need to look forward to the future, and for what we're paying Alex Smith, he's not playing up to par, and that's getting past his injury and all that type of stuff. He's winning football games, and I mean, but still, at some point, we gotta figure something out because Dwayne Haskins comes in. Alex Smith only had 57 yards and an interception. Dwayne Haskins, and that was a kind of bad interception that Alex Smith threw as well. Dwayne Haskins comes in 7 of 12 for 51 yards. Our offense had our offense had 95 passing yards on the day. We had 95 passing yards and we had 98 rushing yards. And I will give credit to the team for doing something that we haven't really done a lot in the past, which is stick with the run game. And I don't know if that's because we've been having issues passing the ball, but we stuck with the run game today. 28 carries for 98 yards. You know me, I like to run the football. So Logan Thomas, it didn't seem like it, but he had the most yards reception yards on the team. So then just let's go. Deron Payne had a fumble recovery. Chase Young had a fumble recovery. So let's see tackles. John Bostic with 10 tackles on the day. It might be combined. But yet again, like I said, I've been critical of John Bostic in the past, but there he is leading in tackles. Cameron Curl with an interception. But yeah, and then Nick Mullins went 25 of 45, 260 yards. Touchdown and interception. He was sacked 4 times. So yeah, that's kind of it. I need to... I'm just looking up the schedule because I'm blanking on who we play next. Give me 1 second. Apologize. So all right, bam. We just played. So we got Seattle next. All right, yeah, I knew they were coming up. Versus Seattle. Giants just beat Seattle. Seattle won today, I'm pretty sure. But all these games are winnable, man. We we play Seattle, Carolina, and then Philadelphia. To me, clearly, it's Seattle and the 49ers were the hardest teams on that schedule. Now, the Eagles did put in Jalen Hurts today, and they beat the 10-2 Saints. And if you look at it, I mean, the NFC East is still bad, but like people calling us the NFC least, the Giants went to Seattle and beat them. Then we go to the undefeated Steelers, beat them in their house. And then today, the Eagles, with the backup quarterback, beats the Saints. And yeah, the Saints have a backup quarterback too. But Taysom Hill, he's a pretty good quarterback, man. I'm not going to sit here and just blame that on having a backup quarterback. He's good. So there's no excuse there. The Eagles won somehow. So the NFC East is stringing along some wins versus some teams that we apparently shouldn't be beaten. But I think we can beat the Eagles. I think we can beat Carolina. Seattle's the hardest team we have left. If we go and play Seattle and beat them, man, I think that's a clinch for us. I think the rest of the games will be easy for us. But that's just well wishing, right? So, all right, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Hail to the Washington football team. See you guys in the next one. Peace.